name is Tanya Bird. I am with the Communications Committee, and today we are at Weissman at our partner spotlight, and I am with Bettina Brown, better known as BB.
Right.
And we're here to talk about the Weissman Law Firm. So tell me a little bit about Seth. He's the founder of the law firm.
He is. He's one of the founding partners of the firm. The firm changed its name recently to Weissman, which is kind of the trend in the legal industry to just have one name. So it is Seth Weissman, and his wife Tanya is the managing partner. And he's actually general counsel to the Georgia Association of Realtors.
Yes, which is it's fascinating because he is the guy who helps write the contracts, right?
He does. When the changes come over, or suggested changes come over, he makes sure they're legal. And he comes out every year. They come out with some changes. Sometimes we let him know what we do and don't like about those changes. But usually they're in keeping with problems that have come up during the year, and people let him know what things did and didn't work with the current contracts we have. And it's also to help protect realtors. So if there's litigation that's gone on, the contract's revised to help protect y'all.
Yeah, I like how our contract says that we're realtors, yet we don't know anything, so you can't come back on it.
Right.
So it's him who helped us with that.
Protects realtors, right?
Yes.
Protection.
So he also is famous for writing what we call the Red Book.
Right. This is the most current version. I call it the Contract Bible. I have one of these in my home office because a lot of agents email me or call me on Saturday, and if I'm available, I try to get back to them. And it actually has answers to most questions that come up. So if you don't have this, or your broker doesn't have this, I would strongly encourage you to get it. This is the most recent version. It's the 6th edition. Took him about 4 years to do this one, so it is a good one to have.
Yes, no doubt. And he also presents a lot at GAR conferences, right?
He's a frequent speaker at GAR conferences, and he also has the Weissman Academy, which is classes that he teaches to real estate professionals. Those are on our firm's website. Also, the information about buying the Red Book is on our website. For the Weissman Academy, that has actually blossomed a lot during COVID because of the capability of people to join the classes by Zoom.
Yeah.
So in old days, you might have 30 to 40 or 60 people. Now sometimes they have over 300.
That's awesome.
Right.
And those are for continuing education, correct?
Continuing education, or people who are just interested in learning a new skill. He has condominium specialist classes. He has negotiation specialists. And he has Red Book specialist classes. Those are all on our website.
Awesome. And I know he's a YouTube star.
He is. We have Safe Real Estate with Seth, and they have made him look really good on camera on those things. At the beginning, he wasn't as polished as he is now. Please, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But he looks good on screen. And those are all those a lot of topics that came up during COVID that he talked about.
Well, no worries if you didn't look polished. Everybody who starts out their YouTube channel in the beginning does not look polished.
Right.
Yeah, and then they get better. It's how it is.
Right.
And I actually subscribe to it. So when I get his email saying, here's my latest video, I watch it because he gives really, really, really good information.
Right. We watch him as well because we use those for a lot of sales meetings or talking points to new real estate agents.
So we're specifically here in Peachtree City, but I know you have other offices. So tell me more about where those are.
We have 17 offices. So we have one as far south as McDonough. We have a Savannah office, a West Cobb office. On I-85, we have one in Brazelton or Houston, and then we have one in Woodstock. The benefit to having multiple offices is if your seller is 95 years old and lives in Woodstock, and the property's in Peachtree City, and your buyer's down here and your seller's up there, we don't need to make the 95-year-old woman drive to Peachtree City. I try to encourage people to look at the office that's closest to them so that your client doesn't have to drive 2 hours to sell their property. The other thing is every office has access to our file. So if you have a favorite closer or an attorney at a West Cobb office, you could actually call them and find out if you weren't able to get someone in a different office to answer a question. So we have the capability to see what's going on in your file in any of our offices.
Oh, and does that also can get into your Closing Connect piece of
Right.
it? Yeah.
The Closing Connect is our firm's secure portal, which we worked on for a long time, and that's where your clients have access to our firm's information, and they upload everything. I always say for the seller especially, we ask people a lot of questions that you don't ask people unless you're drunk at a cocktail party. You know, are you filing bankruptcy, or are you in a divorce? Do you have any federal tax liens or state tax liens against you? It also has the seller's social security numbers, their banking information, and they can upload all of that to the portal. It's not written on a sticky note in somebody's folder or faxed or emailed to somebody. It's the most secure way for us to keep your seller's personal information. And it also has our firm's wiring instructions, and once the borrower or buyer is in our portal, they can pull the wiring instructions, and that's the safest way to get wiring instructions these days from our secure portal. We had a closing on Monday, and I was telling you about this earlier, where the buyer's agent sent the buyer wiring instructions by email, and they were not our firm's wiring instructions. Fortunately, they were legitimate wiring instructions, but I don't think I need to tell you, you do not transmit wire instructions to anyone. It is not a good way to do it. Now, there are workarounds. If your buyer is traveling, there's no way for them to get into the portal. There are ways for us to work around that, but we don't want you to do that. Let us handle transmitting the wire instructions so we can make sure your buyer doesn't send their money to Tahiti to someone we don't like.
Yeah, I agree. I don't do that. Like, I always tell people, like, if you get wiring instructions from me, I've been hacked.
Right.
And I always go back and make them, even if they get an email from the attorney, and some attorneys out there send it in unsecured emails, which is scary, very scary. I make them call the closing attorney to verify, because again, like, you don't want to. It's people's livelihoods at stake, and you got to take good care of that.
Exactly.
So tell me about what kind of lawyers that you have here.
Right. We actually try to hire lawyers and paralegals that are friendly, forward-thinking, creative, outside the box. We try to hire lawyers that are not lawyer-like. And what I mean is approachable, friendly, not stuffy. Our firm's kind of motto, I feel like, is, you know, we want to try to say yes when it's not illegal, unethical, or immoral. We try to figure out creative ways to make the closing go smoothly when there's a hiccup in the closing. And I really think Tonya, Seth's wife, who's the managing partner, she's very good at thinking outside the box, and she tries to hire lawyers in the firm that think the same way and creative ways to make your client happy that you sent them here so we're able to close and everybody's happy at the end.
Yeah. So where is the best place we can send somebody if they want to learn more about Weissman?
Yeah, well, our website, or I'm happy to talk to anybody. We have our website has information about all our lawyers, all the classes Seth teaches, and it talks about all the other areas of practice we do besides real estate closing. We do everything about dirt, is what I tell people. We don't do any divorce work, and we don't do DUI, but we do everything that touches dirt.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.